U.S. economy continues to head off a cliff, and now it's taking Facebook along for the ride. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, buckle up, strap in. I got a hard-hitting pull, no punches, no sugarcoating, no rainbows, no unicorns. We're just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Buckle up, strap in, hold on to your hats and your glasses as we blow the lid off the U.S. economy and the U.S. housing market. Why, you ask? Well, of course I'm going to tell you they're tied together. If we lose one, my friends, we're going to lose the other. Throw a dart at an economic challenge map. We're hitting something, threatening them both as we speak. This thing continues to just get more serious. But today we're going to temperature check and heat map, read between the lines, look between the cracks, be iron, sharpening iron, awake, understanding the biggest artificially created housing bubble ever produced in world history with zero organic growth, making real estate agents essential workers in a health crisis, overstimulated the biggest asset class in the world. And that's why we monitor the U.S. housing market, my friends, because it is capable of collapsing the U.S. economy, booms and busts. We've always had them. It's never been a question if we would have a boom cycle, if it's just going to be a bust cycle. It was that short-sighted, people on the stimulus, Kool-Aid, a casino climate, the new normal utopia. Of course, something had to break. We overheated the economic engine. I don't know. Last time I overheated an engine in anything, it blew. So we've always had booms and busts. So don't shoot the messenger. Do not shoot. I suffered blowback in 2008. I went through a bust cycle. Why shouldn't you? Why shouldn't you? Of course, everybody has to experience at least once in their adult life, and probably more than that if you're lucky. But unfortunately, many kids out there today, the ones we're going to talk about here in a moment over at Facebook, they believe the narrative. They believe the narrative the way I did as a young man in the last great financial crisis. This time is different. Real estate's too big to fail. It's a great time to buy. All the same catchwords and sales trainings, objective handling, things that we heard in this one. So, history always rhymes. Welcome to the future. This is just the waters we're swimming in now. But the challenging one I'm having for this one versus, and I've always said that, I think since day one, if you're new, please subscribe right away. Never been a more important time in history to get centered and surrounded with like-minded people. Iron will sharpen iron. We're sharpening iron today, my friends. The thing that's concerning about this bubble versus the last bubble. This bubble, well, first of all, was bigger. There's that whole elephant in the room. This bubble is bigger than the last bubble. Bigger, and it was built faster with a zero organic growth. It was market manipulation, helicopter money, stimulus, crisis-driven. That was very volatile behavior to have the markets exhibit. And so even as somebody with financial gain I work in the biggest asset class in the world. Love it. Owe so much to real estate. Do it for free. Love it. Absolutely love it. Wouldn't change anything. Even me, financial gain. If anybody should have normalized it, this time is different. Date the rate. Marry the house. It's time in the market, not timing the market. Do a rate buy down. Hey, there's some new loan products out there with minimum amounts down. Real estate only goes up. Insane. I laugh at myself as I said those things. It's like a self-defense mechanism to wrap my head around what we're actually doing here today. The concerning part about this one is the amount of people that poured in. And let me just be the first one over here to tell you, in the last real estate bubble, the great '08 financial crisis, Great Recession, the biggest housing crash on record until this one came along and now is threatening to exceed it. There I go again, laughing at myself. This bubble is way more volatile, and the people that poured in back in the last bubble, maybe over-asking, bidding wars, a line around the block for an open house, remote purchasing, iBuyer. No, we had none of that. Those things popped up in this Kool-Aid drinking casino climate. The money dump created a casino climate. So now we're suffering the blowback. The house always wins, and right now the house is about to win again in terms of they're now doing the ultimate rug pull, and we see how many companies are throwing people overboard. They're throwing their employees overboard to protect investors and profit margins. So the latest one when we see is Facebook full of kids. You know, somebody's tell you, don't have Google and Facebook. They're not hiring people like me over there. At least if you've had to been there for a while to be my age in there, I'm sure. They got kids running the company. We've seen what happens when you let kids run your company. Have you seen Bud Light? I know I reported on it recently. They are giving beer away now. They can't give the stuff away because kids collapse their company. Well, over at Facebook, kids. Now, it was a pretty good job, I'm sure, in stimulus when the government was paying for, and you and me, for them to hire all the employees they wanted. They were offering pretty good salaries. Enough for these kids to go buy houses. They might have had to travel away from the headquarters or offices to do it, but that was all right because they were letting them do that too. Well, now, not only are they getting pulled back to the office, trying to create quiet quitting and stealth layoffs, employees bought houses. They bought houses because they thought they were going to remote work. And even if they were lucky enough to still have a job, they now are coming back to the office to do it. And they're afraid to spend a penny right now. They're underneath big mortgages. They didn't check rent ranges, so they don't own their house now owns them twice because it's probably no longer worth what they paid, chances are. And their mortgage payment is bigger than its rent range, so they can't put a renter in there. What do you do? What do you do? Somebody tell me what you do. So today, to drive our point home, let's jump over and see what's going on the inside of Facebook. Then we're going to meet back here and wrap it up. Let's get started. Thousands of Meta workers hit by new round of layoffs as company cuts costs. Social media firm will cut 4,000 jobs immediately as part of a larger plan to cut 10,000 jobs amid tech industry slump. Meta workers are bracing for thousands of additional layoffs as the embattled social media firm continues to cut costs. A new round of layoffs began on Wednesday, according to a report from CNBC that was confirmed by Meta. The company will cut 4,000 jobs immediately as part of a larger plan to cut 10,000 jobs announced earlier this year, focusing largely on technical roles. Well, that sounds like the white-collar wage earner. Let's get back to the studio so we can wrap this one up. All right, friends, welcome back. So there you go. 10,000 more. Shouldn't laugh. 10,000 more Facebook employees. You're about to get a rug pull. You're gone. Remote work. You can't even go back to the office. Don't come back to this office. You're laid off. Oh, you just bought a house? We're sorry. We're sorry. You should have known better. You should have known, but did you check its rent range? Do you watch Scott Walters on YouTube? Did you check its rent range? Oh, you didn't? Well, maybe he'll produce a video on how to do short sales at some point. We don't know what else to tell you, but you ain't coming back here. That's what's happening now. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator. Somebody wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understanding the biggest artificially created housing bubble ever produced in world history is having its blowback. Facebook. You're up to bat. Throw a dart at a map, though, right? How many companies right now? In fact, we're going to start covering more companies that are doing layoffs. Big. I mean, we're not just talking your mom and pops like we saw in lockdowns. These are the big dogs now. Front end of a recession, tail end of a lockdown, a health crisis, a money dump. We're just getting started. That's potentially the thing to be ultra aware of right now. And you know, it's really interesting because as we talk about these things, so we take a lot of the power out of it. Can you imagine if you're hearing this for the first time, even here, as we report on this, sometimes it can be a little bit I almost shock myself sometimes as we cover these things. But how else are we going to be iron sharpening iron? Being snowflakes, tiptoeing, tap dancing around the elephant in the room? No. This is not the time for that. This is the time to insulate yourself, play it safe, understand what's going on out there, checking rent ranges of property to see if they warrant an offer, testing it, not falling in love with it like FOMO factories want you to do. No! Going back and rolling up the old sleeves and working in real estate the old-fashioned way. Offers, negotiations. No hard feelings, it's just business. Now I'm going to continue to blow the lid off this thing every step of the way because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to contact me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network of top-rated agents in the nation, ready to assist you. It'd be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you as well. Also, if you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, I know you're going to love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time today. Please go make it count. I'll see you on the next video.